Hi, Tony. Welcome to Super Talk Show. It's such a pleasure to have you with us, joining us from, the United States, so far away.
Yeah, hi Heidi. It's really great to be here. And yeah, I'm super excited for our talk today.
Yeah. So to get started, can you give us an introduction about yourself?
Yeah, of course. So hi everyone. My name is Tony Wang. I'm currently a senior in high school in the East Bay area. So I go to school like kind of near the San Francisco Bay. And yeah, I'm really interested in like honestly a wide variety of things, but recently I've been super obsessed with like AI and technology and using them to like kind of do like research and solve problems in different areas. And I'm also super interested in like nonprofits and social impact. So yeah, that's a quick little blurb on me.
Yeah. So the first question, I want to delve into your experience with Rise. It's such a prestigious competition with thousands of competitors from around the world. And you ended up as the global winner last year, one of the global winners. So can you sort of talk through your experience with that, like 100-day challenge? And what project did you end up doing?
Yeah, of course, I'd be happy to talk about that. So for some background, RISE is a relatively new program that's started by Schmidt Futures and Rhodes Trust. It's a joint initiative between the two organizations, and basically, kind of the main goal of RISE is to like identify brilliance or talent really early on and provide them with a lifetime of benefits. And it has like a really cool global network with like people from over 100 different countries, all like in this community of like working on different projects. And so yeah, one of the main parts of the RISE application is you have to do like a RISE project for the RISE challenge. And basically for this challenge, you can really do anything you want. It can be like you can compose a song, you can start a nonprofit, you can do research, just anything that kind of like helps the community and shows your brilliance. So for me, at the time I was super interested in like AI and like chemistry stuff. So I did a project in the area of like pharmaceuticals where I was just like testing different AI algorithms to study different like chemicals and molecules and just trying to predict like which molecules can potentially be good medicines. And kind of like my main goal for that was to address the problem of pharmaceutical monopolization, where like a few really big corporations kind of control the entire drug development pipeline where they control every single step. And so I was thinking if I create like an AI algorithm that can automatically generate these good molecules, and maybe that'll help kind of democratize biomedical research and allow other people to be able to break into the field as well. So yeah, that's kind of the focus of my RISE project.
Wow. Okay, that sounds really cool. So
Yeah.
can I ask if it was just you like working on it in your room, or did you have some facility or resources? Like where did you go? Maybe to a research facility, or yeah, how did that work? Because it sounds very large and scientific, let's say.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so for this project, actually, it was just independent. So I did it at my own home, only just on my laptop. But something that was really helpful was throughout the process, I would email a lot of different professors, just asking them questions. So whenever I would run into like a really big problem that I couldn't solve, or just like a general question that I couldn't find the answer to online, I would try to find like an expert in the field and just like cold email them. So like 90% of the time they would just not reply because like honestly, who has the time to reply to like a random high school student? But the few times they did reply, it was really helpful. And so yeah, I've had like a lot of really great professors provide great feedback and advice throughout the process of working on my project. So yeah, that was like definitely really helpful. But yeah, this project wasn't done in a lab, so it was just kind of me in the dark trying to figure it out.
Mhm. Yeah, in the dark. I remember that word from Tina, who also mentioned like creating her own app in the dark, very much in the dark. So I have another question. Like I saw on the Instagram of Rise, like the global winners went to New York, got interviewed. It's so cool. So what ended up happening for you after you won?
Yeah, so Yeah, the New York trip was a super, super cool experience. And actually the funny thing is, before going to New York, we didn't know that we were winners. At the time we were just finalists. So they're like, oh, we have this special opportunity for some finalists. So we were like, oh, did we win? We don't know. So then we went to New York, and basically it was like a really cool like media tour kind of situation, where some of the students went on Good Morning America, some of them presented at the UN. And yeah,
Oh,
we had these different like media like
wow.
like jobs in a way. And so yeah, my role was like I was one of the presenters at the UN. So I like spoke on a panel to like the UN officials. Yeah, it sounds super crazy and it's definitely a really cool experience. But basically, like after like 1 or 2 days in New York, like right before we were supposed to present and like after Good Morning America happened, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're winners. So we found out in New York. So that was like super cool. And yeah, basically it was just a trip of like interacting with the media, like getting materials for that, and just meeting each other and like global winners from year one as well. It's just a really, really great experience and probably like the most memorable like trip of my life. I'd say it was absolutely amazing. So yeah, I definitely recommend like anyone listening to this to totally apply to Rise. It's an amazing, amazing opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely that's all my questions I had for Rise. But I want to ask about like you as a high school student, because I just want to ask, and I ask this to many other Super Talk Show guests, how do you balance like the tasks of being like creating projects and also like uh at the same time being in high school? Like how does time management work for you?
Yeah, that's a really great question. And honestly, time management is something I still struggle with a lot. Like a lot of times I find myself still like grinding away at like 3 or 4 a.m. Like, oops, I could have managed my time better. Maybe shouldn't have gone boba earlier. But yeah, so some tips that I found that have really helped me in terms of time management is using a planner. Like just making a to-do list every day is so, so, so helpful. Especially if you have like a lot of things going on, if it's like a really busy time of the year, just even listing things out, even if you like don't use it as a to-do list, even if you don't cross things off, just like kind of like organizing your thoughts and getting a list of things to do is really helpful. And then also using a calendar, I'd say is really helpful, because like you'll inevitably forget about events if you don't use one. So Google Calendar is what I use. Really simple on the web and it's really intuitive to use and just super helpful, I'd say, because it like sends you reminders and stuff. So yeah, these two tools, using a planner and using a calendar, are super helpful. And other than that, I'd say just like trying to like optimize productivity, maybe using like different productivity hacks, and just trying to like be a bit faster with your work and try to fit more into your day. But of course, it's also really important to rest as well. You know, like we can't just be like endlessly working all the time where we'd all burn out. So I'd say like even scheduling like good rest time can actually be helpful for like becoming more productive and being able to manage your time well.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And following up to that, like, can I ask how many hours you sleep? You know, we have this stereotype for like Stanford students or Ivy Leagues. Like, how many hours do you actually sleep?
Good question. I'd say it varies very widely based on what time of the year it is. So like during the summer, I have like much more time. So it's usually like a solid like 7 to 8 hours. But if it's like March, April, May, like AP exam season, competition season, I remember junior year, I was not sleeping a lot. It was like like maybe like 5 to 6 hours a night. Like some nights, like I would try to like sleep more on the weekends. But yeah, like during the school days, I would like go to bed pretty late. But so definitely not healthy. Like I wouldn't recommend doing that. But I think it's okay, and because it's just like a short-term thing, I'd say it's just high school students are generally very busy. There's just so much life happening. That a lot of the times high school students are sleep deprived. But yeah, I'm hoping that like in college and beyond, I
Mm.
get better sleep habits. And I think that's like a common trend among a lot of students, where it's just like, yeah, your sleep schedule is really bad, but it's only for a couple months, so like it'll get better. But we're not trying to justify that in any way. Definitely try to get more sleep if possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I have like I'm running out of questions at this point, but I want to ask about like what competitions did you do throughout your high school that you think maybe contributed to your acceptance to Stanford this year?
Yeah, great question. So I definitely competed in like a very eclectic variety of like competitions. But honestly, I'd say like the most important like kind of awards and honors for me were like a lot of the volunteer ones I had. So for example, I got like the Gold President's Volunteer Service Award consecutively. I think that's like yeah, but I think that might be only US based. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, it is.
basically yeah, yeah. So basically that's just like the amount of volunteer hours you get in a year. And there's like different amounts based on age requirement. But I think it's like a really great award that a lot of organizations like to see just because it shows like commitment and the fact that you're like really doing positive things for your community. So yeah, if you're like US based and you're listening to this, definitely check out President's Volunteer Service Award. I think that's a really great opportunity. And then also there's like Rise of Course, which was like a really big award for me. And it's definitely like was one of like the bigger things on my application, I think. Um, and then yeah, I tried to like compete in a couple different STEM competitions as well. So like a couple of math competitions. I also did some writing competitions and speech and debate. So it was like a very like kind of chaotic a little bit. But yeah, I tried to like explore a lot of different fields in high school. And like that's some advice I'd give to like any listeners as well. Just don't try to like pigeonhole yourself too early of like, oh, I'm going into this field, so I'm only doing work that's in this area. I think high school and even college is like a really, really great time to just explore a lot of different fields, you know, try out things that you would never find yourself trying otherwise, and trying to see like what are you really interested in. So like throughout high school, I would just like go to random club meetings, like even though if I wasn't sure what they were doing, I'd be like, it's just cool to like explore these different areas and try to meet new people. So yeah, I definitely like tried to do like a lot of different competitions throughout high school. And yeah, I think that was like really helpful in just allowing me to meet new people and gain new experiences.
Yeah, definitely. So that being interdisciplinary, I remember that's something Stanford likes. So yeah, I guess the last question for you is, I ask this to everybody that came to Super Talk Show before. If there's one quote or advice that you would give to our super audience, like a final quote from you, what would that be?
Ooh, okay. Oh my gosh, I have to think about this. The final quote for me.
Like putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I know this is like scary. I would say maybe like I'm trying to make it sound like poignant and important. But like again, going back to sleep deprivation, I did not sleep enough last night, so I'm very tired. So this might not be that deep, but I'd say try to be involved with a lot of interesting areas, which I know is like a weird quote, but it goes back to like what I was saying about the previous question. Just a really big mistake that I see so many people making is just like forcing themselves into one specific niche. But I think it's always better to be involved with more areas. Like so many different fields are really connected in ways you never expect. Where when you learn something in a field that's like totally different, it helps you make like great progressions in some other fields that you're currently studying about. So yeah, I'd say try to be involved with a lot of different like areas that you're interested in, a lot of different fields, and just like be involved in general. I'd say it's like always better to like be a part of different things. So like join that emailing list, like sign up for that event. Like even if you don't know if you'll be interested, it's always better to try it out than to regret not trying it. So yeah, I'd say just keep trying new things throughout high school and beyond. I think that's a really great philosophy to have and something I've been trying to work on with myself as well.
Well, thank you so much, Tony, for being on Super Talk Show. It was great hearing all the advice you gave to us. Yeah, and thank you so much for joining us, even though it's like 10 in the morning.
Yeah, of course. I'm super happy to be here. And yeah, it definitely gave me a reason to like not sleep in until 12. So I'm super grateful for this as well. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. It was really great to talk to you, Heidi.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.